Hello, good people. Welcome to a Notch Higher Living YouTube channel where I am creating a space and environment where healthy relationship skills can be learned, developed, practiced, and ultimately thrive. I'm actually doing something different, so I'm looking, I think, in the wrong direction. So I'm going to look at the camera, and I am welcoming you to today's episode. And I'm so excited. As you see, I'm on a Zoom today. I'm learning and I do things differently. So I have two people that I'm really excited that they have agreed to be part of this episode. So I'm going to introduce them in just a few minutes. And as you can see, we have two incredibly brown people on this YouTube. I'm so excited because this is going to be a great episode. So let's get started. So, I have been doing book reviews, and what I'm doing, as I let you know before, I'm taking this to the next level. So in order to learn healthy development skills, we actually have to develop and practice them. That's the only way that they're going to thrive. We have to have a space. So that's why this space is created. I'm actually creating it for myself because I want to live a different life. So I want to introduce as many other people who are wanting to live that life too. So today we're going to talk about one of the 6 areas that I'm focusing on in what I call healthy by design. And the 6 areas are emotional, financial, physical, relational, spiritual, and vocational. So today we are going to talk about financial. Finances, it could be one of those things. It could be one of those taboo conversations that you don't talk about. I don't know how many of you in your family, friends, or circles talk about finances other than I need some more or I don't have enough. But I want to look at this and delve into it more from a healthy perspective. And the book that I have read, I want you to see, it's called Financial Recovery: Developing a Healthy Relationship with Money. I started reading this book in January of this year. And what I did was actually take a chapter a week in my Sabbath day and just take a time where I'm able to go through the book and look at my life from a different perspective. The reason why I really like this book, because the author didn't come from it from a perspective of just nuts and bolts of finances in the way of if you budget, if you save, if you do this, you'll be okay. What the author did is bring in that emotional piece, because a lot of people budget and save, but if their emotions take them to a place where all the budgeting in the world and the saving, they just throw that out of the water, and their emotions take them to say, like, I don't want to do that anymore. This author combined both, meaning saying to you, you have a story behind money. You have a something that's causing you to move in the money direction for a certain reason. And if you never look at that, particularly, you can budget all day and you can save all day, but you have to look at what's underneath the surface. That's why I'm really excited to introduce you to the 2 people that I have online, because they help me as I finish the book, reading the book. Later on in this year, earlier on in this year, they helped me connect with looking at what was underlying and under the surface. So I'm going to do one quick thing before I introduce our guest today. I'm going to tell you what the titles are of this book, and it'll be linked in the description, because it is a really good read to get your mind into being open. And I'll be honest, this is one reason why I was able to, when Mrs. B, when I came across her connection, I was open because I was primed and ready for something new. So let me tell you about the chapter. So the introduction is to bring a healthy relationship with money. And when you think about relationship and money, people don't usually talk about it like that. It's just like, it's my money. But you have a relationship with money, but we want to have a healthy one. So chapter 1 is talking about understanding your relationship with money, getting to the root of the problem. Again, what's under the surface. And then deja vu is chapter 2. Does your relationship with money plunge you into the money life drain? The author talks about that, and that's where that spiral down with our emotions can come. And then chapter 3, this is one that people, and I think this is that emotional piece that we don't talk about a lot of times. I know I needed to look at healing the wounds of shame and deprivation. The key to understanding your needs, wants, and deepest desires. So if you don't connect your relationship with that, a lot of times you're just living I have been living off the cuff and I haven't been living with a focus. Number 4, or chapter 4, is getting on track. And this is again why I have Mr. Beckles and Mrs. B. They had the connector to what I learned to help me start getting on track. And then chapter 5, again, creating your spending plan and income plan. We talk about budgeting. That's your personal spending plan. This author even has a nice app where if you want to, some people just use an Excel spreadsheet, but I subscribe to this new app that they had. And what was interesting, or what is interesting about it, I put my needs and my wants. So I don't ignore it. I put it in this app. And honestly, for me, it has helped me look at my life from a holistic view, not taking everything out, but putting it in and acknowledging that this is something that I do want in life. And then chapter 6 is saving your way out of debt. And this is something that's interesting because, again, my guests today, they have helped me with this too. Again, I learned this in January and February, but in March, even as I'm working myself back out of debt, I am still saving. So saving your way out of debt, the way that the author has it, and then my guests today, they have caused me to see that you still want to save something because you're creating a habit. So you don't want to deprive yourself and live life in a way that you're, just say you're not eating any carbs, any sugar, anything fun or anything tasteful for 3 months. By that third month, you're going to say like, you know, heck with it all. I'm eating everything. But if you gave yourself a chance to like eat something that, you know, in moderation, as you are eating healthy, the chances that you will continue moving forward are higher. So there are only 2 more chapters. Chapter 7 is your relationship with work and earning. And this is another reason why my guests are here today. So I'll have an option to increase my earnings, because sometimes, I'll be honest, I read another book. We can be the victims of under earning because of the way we think about ourselves and not allowing more to come. So that's something that we have to adjust. And then chapter 8 is imagining sterling money behaviors. So again, the author is Karen McCall, and it's Financial Recovery. I'll put information down below. This is things that we can learn about our finances. But the other part is to practice and develop better habits. So that is why I have my guest on today, because again, after reading this book, I have gone through some processes for myself and looking at all of my finances. My cousin, he's a wealth banker, and I spoke with him last year. And again, it was priming the pump for me to look at finances in a different way, because a lot of times, again, as the author says, shame can circle what we have around our finances, and it can keep us stuck. But one thing that I was determined to do, and one thing I want to do, is I want to make a different path for myself and my family and my future family. I want to have a legacy that lasts. And when I say legacy, I want to look at a life that that looks differently from the way that I live now. I want to be able to, I'm off work today and I have time to be able to do something that I enjoy doing, but I'm still actually working, because guess what? This is the work that I love doing. I love to develop myself and grow. At the same time, money is involved with doing this. I'm still getting paid because I have the time at work. So I've been thinking, like, what can I do where I'm still getting paid, but I'm not exchanging time for money? And I know that there's people, they live like that, but I want to be able to do that. So I'm opening myself to new horizons, and new things. And one thing that I am grateful for these 2 guests that I'm going to introduce, is that, again, I read the book in January, but I received an email, I believe it was in March, from Miss Adrienne Bee, and it had information. And when I looked at it, I was just like, well, I don't know what she's doing, but I have let her know. I saw saw her picture, and it was a brown face. And I was like, I don't know who she is, but she's a brown girl, and I'm going to help my brown sister. And I said, I don't know what it is, but well, what it was is that I didn't have what I think she wanted me to have, meaning like I didn't have I didn't have information about licensing. But what I did say was that if there's anything that I could do to help you out, just let me know. And she just responded back to say, hey, I would like to meet with you and share with you what I do. So it wasn't any high pressure. And that's what it was. It was an honest conversation or honest email interaction. And then what Mrs. B did was introduce me to Mr. Beckles. Mrs. B is an associate, and Mr. Beckles, he is a senior marketing director. And what I really appreciated about the interaction between them both, it wasn't high pressure giving me a lot of information. They really, truly, especially at the place that I was with opening myself with new financial habits and literacy, learning, getting more information to see how I can practice and live life differently, they were really, really patient. When I say patient, it, you know how you talk to some people and it's like, okay, what are you trying to sell me? I think Mr. Beckles from the go, he just kind of said, hey, we're here to have a conversation. And he set the tone of, I want to share something with you. And we want to help families. We want to help families succeed. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Like, I wasn't sure what I was going to hear. So that's the reason why I asked them to come on, because I want to take my practicing and thriving and developing new skills to a new level. And they have a financial services background, but also financial literacy, wanting to educate people, wanting people to learn something differently. And that's a learning curve. You have to have patience for that. They both um, they both shared with me, and I experienced that with both of them. Much patience. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Mrs. Adrienne Bee and Mr. Roosevelt Beckles, and I'm going to just ask them both, how did you come to wanting to share with other families and other people about financial literacy? So take it away.
Is it ladies first or?
Go ahead. Yes, ladies first.
Okay.
I love it.
Well, first off, thank you, Jasmine, for this opportunity to just to be able to show my brown face and just to
Yes.
give a little insight about myself and how I was brought to this opportunity, because that's exactly what it was.
Nice.
So I will be very transparent. Yes, I am still currently working a 9 to 5
Mm-hmm.
job, but and it's been a number of years. I'm not going to say how many, but it's been a number of years that I've been with this current employer, and I can definitely, even from the jump, I was never. It was never my intentions to go from first day employee to where I am at now. And within the last number of years, I have
Mm-hmm.
been battling with myself, because I'm like, this is not what you want to do. This
Yeah.
particular job is not going to get you to the level that you want to be in life. So
Mm-hmm.
I would be online, like most people, going through the different career websites, the hiring websites, looking for another job. Or in
Yep.
my case, I was trying to find a career looking amongst these jobs.
There.
And
Wow.
this is the crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not one. And when I say not one, nothing really check mark every single thing off my list. Like the
Yeah.
duties and the responsibilities, it wasn't that I was afraid of the challenge. It just didn't spark that interest in me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would see a few different leads and I would go ahead and apply. But then again, this is the downside. Being a college educated woman, you don't have the experience in particular fields. You have the degree, but you
So
don't have the
true.
experience. So
So true.
then
Catch 22.
yeah, so you're sitting around waiting on that email to come through or that phone call. So, working a job that you're not favorable of, no response from the employers that you did reach out to, frustration comes into play, discouragement can come into play, and it's just
Yeah.
like, what am I going to do? So I'm definitely a believer in God, and all I could do was just pray and continue to apply and say, lead the way. Because it was literally at that point, I don't know what to do. So
Wow.
fast forward
Wow.
to June of last year, June 2020,
Okay.
I was contacted by, I'm not going to say the company, And they wanted to do, one of those, hey, I seen your information online, seen your resume online, think you'll be a good fit for our company type of thing. And I was just like, well, I know I don't recall applying to this specific position, but at this point, I don't want to say willing to try anything,
exactly,
but you're willing
right,
to try
right,
anything. So
right.
before I actually responded back, because I believe I had heard of the company, like they sounded familiar, but I wasn't completely sure. So a great friend, sister of mine, I reached out to her and said, hey, have you heard of this particular company? She said, yeah, but I'm going to put you in contact with someone else. So in my mind, I was like, well, I didn't want you to go to that, extreme, but because I know how
her.
she is,
makes
I know
sense.
how she is. I said, well, I'm completely cool with it. So we did like a text message communication between herself, myself, and it was Mr. Beckles that she put me in contact with.
There you go.
And I believe it was the next day that we had scheduled to have a phone conversation.
Okay.
And I just immediately, first of all, let me be honest. If you hear his voice, you're like, whoa, this man, it's just like, who was this guy? What does he look like? You just automatically like, wow, I want to see his face. But he was completely respectable. Definitely, like you said, Jazz, no pressure at all. He told me his, who he was, what he did, but more so, I love the history of the company that he gave me. He didn't just, try to go right in and say, bam, this is what we do. So you're going to join us, you're going to, jump on board. The fact that he knew his history, and as we know, your history is very important. So that lets me know he's pretty embedded. He's been here a while, and he was very knowledgeable. And then he continued to just give me more facts about being an entrepreneur, because honestly, what he didn't know, but at that time, I was definitely thinking of a career or something that's different, something that's going to put me on the path of being self-sufficient and being an entrepreneur. So as he was laying down just like the different, facts about the benefits of being an entrepreneur, he said one particular thing, and it's just, honestly, I was like, so where do I sign up? I got home. It was probably like a 30, maybe a 45-minute conversation. Got home, gave him my information to get on board, and being transparent again, I still really didn't know what I was jumping into. I just knew it did not feel like something out of place. I felt like, take this leap, because you just don't know what you could be in store for. So
I have a question where you just said that. You said you didn't know what it was, but do you think it's because you were ready for something different? You already okay. I love it.
And
so you were ready to learn, but you were still ready to develop yourself and practice something differently. I want us to hear that. Yes, that's powerful.
And when you could be in the process of looking for a different job. But like I said, I wasn't looking for a job. I wanted a career. So I said, this could be an opportunity for a career, still not knowing the every single detail about the company, or not knowing this particular individual. First time conversation, not even 60 minutes. And I was willing to say, hey, also because of how I was connected with him, I said, if she knows him, she has faith in him, I'm going to do it. And let me jump back. So this is the crazy thing. My sister friend that put me in contact with him months ago, she, prior to me, Mr. Beckles, she said, hey, I want you to join me in business. And that was that. She never gave me any details, never said what the business was. I never even asked, but because of who she was, and we're both, mature and independent, I said, okay, it could have been anything. And I was ready to get on board, and we left it at that. And the conversation, went as it was. So then once
you never did anything with that months back. Wow. No. It was almost like the seed was planted and just let it go and germinate.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, business, building, employees, like, that's what I'm thinking in my mind. So when she brought that to me and said, okay, I want you to join me in business, and all I said was okay. And we continued about our conversation, talking about whatever it was that we were talking about. And then months later, I was introduced to Mr. Beckles, and I realized, oh, this was the business that she was talking about. But it really wasn't until, I really invested my time that I realized this is way bigger than what I expected. As a matter of fact, I had no expectations, but I was like, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for an opportunity to become an entrepreneur. I was looking for an opportunity to know that I can gain the wealth and the financial security that I would need to reach those different levels in my life, and to be able to obtain and achieve those goals and those dreams and those desires that I wanted. But even more so, the longer I committed my time and my energy to it, I realized this is even bigger than that. If we take money completely off the table, this is completely about educating people, helping individuals, to give them financial literacy, to show them, hey, you do not have to struggle for the rest of your life. You're not, there's a possibility that, hey, some people feel that they're going to die with debt. No, there are solutions and plans out there for you to be able to get out of debt, to be able to help your family. My two favorite words right now: generational wealth. I love it. That every single client that I come across, because it can happen for you. It can happen for your family, and you could be that individual to introduce that to your family. And I'm not going to say I plan to be, I will be that woman that introduces that to you. Are that woman. Family. Yes. So when I say this has been like a tremendous blessing, and when I tell people about Mr. Beckles, I actually call him Roosevelt because he's my brother, but to be professional. But I say, hey, yeah, with you, I'm going to say he's my upline, or he's my senior marketing director, but he's my brother, because within a very short time frame, we have definitely become family. He's a very compassionate and understanding individual. So that's another thing that I love. It wasn't just business. Sometimes you can join somebody in business and it's just that, boundaries will be crossed. But I let him into my world. He let me into his, and it feels like working with family, and family who's responsible, family who's looking to elevate to like the levels beyond your wildest dreams. Like, that's an amazing thing. And then to be able to continue to add to the family, people with the same mindset and the same goals. And with you, Jasmine, I tell you all the time, it's truly a blessing. Thank God that you allowed me to. You didn't do, honestly, what I probably would have done. Seen the email and probably would have, went right on past it. You said, let me stop. Let me just see what it is that she has to say. And I'm thankful for that, because without that, we really would not be here on this Zoom having this interaction. Like, I'm excited. I love it. And I'm thankful that you gave us the opportunity to be able to just say, hey, this is what we do. And we're going to give you teasers. We're not going to tell you everything, because it's nothing like. No, don't give us everything. No. Make them come back. Yeah, make them come back for more. Make them come back. It's nothing like, it's almost like a secret society, but the thing is, it's not a secret. Right. We're growing every single day. We just want you to come a part. Yes. We just want people to become a part of it. And hey, if you say this is not for me, that is fine. But one thing that is for you is education and knowledge, literally, literacy. And we all need that. It's something that we all do not know. I love, my other saying is, I learn something new every single day. So yes, I feel like I've talked too much, but I had to. No, what you did for us was hope to introduce Mr. Beckles, because at the end of the day, think about it, full circle. I didn't know you. You didn't know him. We're all on this Zoom together. That's not by chance, but we all are looking for something more. And you said something, your transparency. I want everybody to hear what Mrs. B has said. Transparently, she was looking for something more, and she's still working her 9-to-5 job. I want to say this to people, because I hear this a lot. No, I'm not a business person. I don't want to be an entrepreneur, or that's not for me. But then think about it. You don't get there overnight. Nobody said you had to quit your job. Absolutely. But we all went through COVID. And this is one thing that got me thinking. I was grateful enough not to have to quit my job, but I need something else. Like, that was by the grace of God. But what if my job just goes away? We want to be prepared financially, and that takes education, and that takes being open to listening to other people and information. So I am appreciative. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And one more thing. And I'm telling a lot more people this. If I can sit up here and give a particular company so many years of my life, Am I
Invest in
worth
yourself.
investing in myself and taking
Yes,
a
you
chance
are.
on myself to be able to see what goals and dreams that I can achieve? Absolutely.
You are definitely.
Absolutely. And I
That's the
refuse to give any other employer, like I said, I don't want to say the number of years, but it's been a very long time. And I'm like, I knew I was more than this, and God placed this opportunity in front of me. It wasn't chance, it wasn't luck, it was opportunity. And I'm not gonna mess it up, because not everyone is blessed with the opportunity. Our opportunity is favor given by God, and I'm going to take advantage of it, because
Awesome.
it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Beckles for you.
Yes. Woo. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
We're gonna listen to the voice now. Let's hear it go. Let's hear it. She already prepped us.
There she goes. There
Oh.
she goes. Hey, how's everybody doing?
We are
well.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss B. That was a wonderful introduction. Thank you again, Miss Bailey, for
Thank you.
allowing us to share on your platform. It is greatly appreciated.
Mhm.
Well, let me go into a little bit about myself.
Yes.
My name is Roosevelt Beckles. I've been in the auto industry. Well, I'm gonna be transparent. I've been at Chrysler for 26 years and 9 months.
Wow.
And my journey started 5-6 years ago. It was a time in my life where I've been at Chrysler for almost 20 years, 20 plus years. And I just got tired of living Thursday to Thursday. I made good money, and it came in, but I didn't have a knowledge. I didn't have the knowledge of finances. So my church had a financial seminar, and I went, and I sat down with what I didn't realize would become my mentor today. And what happened was that he introduced me to a different mindset, because the key to change is two things. The key to change is 18 inches. And this is what I was taught. The key to change is 18 inches. Your mind and your heart. It's 18 inches between, your mind and your heart. Okay. So I had to have my mindset changed before it would be put in my heart, and your heart is what drives the entire body. So I had to realize that I cannot be a married man with 3 children, a wife that I've had for 3 years, and be living check to check. So I came to this company first as a client. This company introduced me to concepts and introduced me to knowledge. And, once I learned of the rule of 72, once I learned that debt was my friend, it was just a tool that I needed to learn how to use. Once I learned about interest rates, once I learned about all these different things, and then not only did they teach me that, but they also showed me how to apply these different things to my life. Once they did that, I was so ecstatic, I just started sharing with my family, because I wanted my family to be in the same position that I was headed to. And that's when this company said, okay, but there's an opportunity for you here. I was like, I got a job. So I was like, I'm okay. I'm not trying to, like you hear people say, I'm already working.
Right.
You put me in a position, I'm doing better. But it took me a while to realize, once they taught me finance, going over things, me and my wife sat down and we did a roadmap. I was going to have to work at Chrysler an extra 10 years to get my children through college.
Wow.
So when this was brought back to me by a friend, I jumped in. Okay. I went in. I started learning more, because when you learn, it's one thing to learn about finances, but to learn and see how finances move
Right.
from the inside, as an insider, instead of someone that's on the outside. Once you learn how this works from the inside, it changed me. It changed me. put
How
me
would
in a
you say?
position.
Yeah. How would you say
Because
that?
it allowed me, it gave me a knowledge, and it changed my mindset, how I viewed things. I was never good with money. If I saw it and it was in the store and I wanted it,
Yeah, there you go.
when I walked out the door of that store, I had a bag.
You had a bag and
I had a
something was in
bag.
it.
Okay, and there was something in it. What I learned to do now is, what they've taught me is the power of patience.
Yes.
Things don't lose value. The most important thing is time and how you use it. So
Can you say that again, Mr. Beckles?
things don't lose value. The
go.
most important thing in your life is time and
Okay.
how you use it. It's the only irreplaceable thing that we have. You can't replace time.
Yes.
Once it's gone, it's gone.
That's true.
But what you can focus on going forward is how you use it, the importance of it, once you realize the importance of it.
Mhm.
And when it comes to spending and different things of that nature, if you want something, plan for it, schedule for it, work for it, make it a goal, make it something that you can achieve.
Mhm.
Put things in place that makes that goal become a reality. And then in the process, by attaining that goal, you start finding that you can do things. Organization is the key to everything.
Mhm.
Once you become organized, once you start putting things in place, your life changes.
Yeah.
Because finance is just one aspect of our life, but
Sure.
everything it takes to grow to a financial mindset will affect every other aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm. So true.
Okay.
So true.
Once you learn to properly save money, use debt, you'll be able to use it at the grocery store. You'll be able to use it on school. You'll be able to use it at your job. Once you implement certain things, it teaches you. Once you're taught something, you can pass it on. Like I tell my children now, I didn't know this, but I don't tell my children to go to school to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my children to go to school to learn what you don't need later in life. It's a difference. I don't send my children off to get educated to work for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I send them off to get educated so they can apply that in their life, make their life easier so they never have to work for someone else.
Which is that different mindset, like you're having.
It's all in the mindset. Mm-hmm. It's how you raise your children. And these are the concepts of the wealthy. Mm-hmm. These are things that the wealthy teach from day one. But in our community, we are not taught that. What I was taught was every special day that I asked or wanted something was all dictated on the bills.
Yes.
Everything was dictated on how much money we had at that time. Yes. Nothing was ever planned for. Nothing was ever thought out. It was you do this for this reason, and that's how things were done.
That's how, that's,
we didn't have discussions over the kitchen table about finances. Right. What is important, what isn't important, what we should do going forward. We do that in my home now. I don't fault my parents.
Yes.
I don't fault my parents. It's not my parents' fault. No. You can't blame them for what they don't know.
If they didn't have that knowledge,
They didn't have it. But if I have it and continue to do the same thing, that is the definition of foolishness.
Yes. So wait, I have to interject and say this and highlight what you just said, because he doesn't blame, you do not blame your parents. They didn't have the knowledge. But what I'm hearing you say, Mr. Beckles, as soon as you get the knowledge and you're applying it to your life, you're not going to just sit there and twiddle your thumbs and be like, okay, kids, y'all figure it out. And that's what you've done. You let other people know, because the powerful knowledge that you have, you're saying, hey, I need everybody else to hear this, because I didn't know. They didn't know. Yeah. You may not know. I want you to know. Powerful, sir. Powerful.
That's how you break the generational curse in our communities.
And then generational wealth there you go.
It has to start with the foundation.
Yes, it stops.
We can speak on generational wealth for a whole day, for weeks. But if you don't have the foundation of generational education,
exactly,
you'll never have generational wealth.
And that's
somebody
yes.
Somebody has to share the knowledge.
Exactly.
You have to.
Exactly. I love
But
this.
yeah, but guess what?
Yes.
The key to sharing the knowledge, you got to get it first.
Exactly. And you hit the nail on the head because you said it. Even with generational wealth, you have to have the foundation. But what you said with the planning part, so they both have to go together. So
They
you
have
get the
to.
knowledge. You don't just
Yes.
have knowledge just to have it. And then you
Mhm.
break the cycle and the generational curse. You don't just break it simply to break it. You
Mhm.
have a plan to get to generational wealth. But like you said,
Yes.
those conversations, that's why this space is created, because I have people that I did not know before January 1st of this year. I didn't
Yes.
know before whatever day I will have to look back, I would just say March 6th. I think that was our first time that we were supposed to get together. But
Yes.
I love how we both have, or all of us have gotten to a place that we didn't know the information, but because we were willing to be introduced to something that we didn't know, it
Mhm.
places us even right now today in a different place. I
It
am on a
does.
different trajectory, and hearing 20, you said 26 years, that's a lot
Yes.
of time. But what I
Yes.
hear both of you saying is that, hey, I didn't quit and throw everything out, the baby with the bathwater, and
Mhm.
start this new direction overnight. I was willing to plan and learn something differently. It
Yes.
starts with
Yes.
my mind changing. So what would you say to listeners or to people who are viewing this and saying like, oh yeah, that sounds good, but that sounds like something blah 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 blah, we say that, what would you tell them in your real scenario of why you think to even listen to something different is critical to being in a different, going to a different place in their mindset financially?
Well, wisdom comes from God first. Wisdom comes
Yes,
from God.
love it.
But you have to be open for the wisdom.
Yes,
You can learn
facts.
from a rock if you pay enough attention to it. Even
Mm,
if the only thing you learn is to be still.
wow.
You can
Wow.
learn from any and everything, but you have to be open to intake that information. That is a plague that's plagued our community for so long, because a lot of communities have been mistreated, misused, and gone through a large scale of misconduct, especially our communities.
For sure.
So my job is for them to see someone like them doing something they never expected them to do, and doing it well, and doing it with a purpose to serve. See, servants always get more. Givers always get more. So that's why I am a servant and a giver first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a business. I have an extended family.
Wow.
It's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
When people join me in business, because they don't have to, they join my family.
Okay.
My job is to make sure they succeed. And I don't necessarily mean financially, because that's an automatic given. I need you to succeed in passing this on to your people.
Yes.
We need
Yes.
to extend our family to include your family. They get it. That family, they get it. The more people that get it, then our country won't be lopsided. Do you know 6% of the people in this country control the wealth of this country? But that 6% is only 6% of 100%. Do you see how offset that is?
Right. Right.
My job is to focus on the 94%, educate them, start them where they need to be, get them where they need to be, and it's a system in play. People don't pay attention to it. Why do you think that this country is based off of debt instead of income?
Wow.
Everything you buy is based on your debt and how you pay your debt, not on the income that you have. You can bring in $100 million a year, but if you got $100 million in the bank, you can still have a 500 credit score, which is bad.
Right. Right.
See, you know, you know, why is it that the banks only give you a certain percentage on your money, but your debt is 10 times, 20 times higher? It's the way this thing is set up. Wow. And then on top of that, to add the cherry to the top of it, only 4 states mandate teaching children how to graduate high school and balance a checkbook.
Only 4 states out of our 50.
4 states out of 50. The Bible Belt, as they call it.
Wow.
4 states out of 50 teach people the basics of balancing a checkbook.
We got to change this, everybody. That's why we have Mr. Beckles and Miss B online today, because we want better relationships with money. I'm so
yes.
And look at that, just getting that information. Didn't you get? I got upset. Like 4 states. What? Like no. I need to do my part. I'm so grateful that you said that. Not because that's a fact, but it's a fact that we need to change. It's something that we need to do something about. So I want to shift a little bit, because I appreciate you both telling your story. And I want us now, one, if you haven't already liked or subscribed to the channel, please do, because I'm going to be doing more content like this, bringing people on to share how to have healthier skills. This discussion is about finances, but it's going to be much more. But this is the space for us to be able to do it. But I want Mr. Beckles and Miss B to tell us, because I am doing exactly what they're doing too, looking at my mindset differently. And I have taken the challenge to say, hey, I want to get into this. I want to learn for myself. I've become a client. I have started the process for myself, and I love how you both were very authentic and genuine in saying, hey, I started this and I'm still working myself as a client, and I am doing this business. So how can other people become a part of this if they're interested in it?
Miss B, well, through the thing is, our company is we're a $1 trillion company.
Oh wow.
We're the largest financial services brokerage firm in the United States.
Okay.
We're the largest online financial services brokerage firm in the world. You know, our parent company, Aegon, AEGON, you know, they're out of The Hague, the Netherlands. They back us. They're a multi-trillion-dollar company. For us, the main thing is education.
Okay.
Getting people that see this, all they have to do is get in contact with you, send you a number, call you, say, okay, I'd like to know more information. Okay. Give you an email, because a lot of the information we send is too large for text. So
understood.
Give you an email. Okay. Get in contact with you, and Miss B or myself will make sure that you get the information to disperse to them. You know.
Now, did you hear that? So for those who have for a long time with finances, there has been some shame, some guilt, I don't want people, or I don't want to look at that. It's not about you having to know everything, to do everything. It's about you being open, getting your information to me, getting your information, and getting information, being open to the information. I want to say another thing that will be forthcoming, because I am going to have a way that you all can listen to more of the information, and it's called a digital grand opening. It's something that you can be a part of, and you can hear exactly what Mr. Beckles and Mrs. B they're talking about. So I'm going to have more information in the description, and you'll be able to on Tuesday, July the 27th at 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Get more of the information that has changed. As you can see, it has changed their lives, and it's changing my life, because one, I would not know this wealth of knowledge that I am just starting to get more involved with, and allowing myself to learn, develop, practice, and thrive, and ultimately thrive, so that we can break generational curses by laying a good generational solid foundation, so ultimately that we can get the wealth of generations that we want to see happen. But I love how you both brought it home. We have to plan for it. We have to schedule for it. We have to make that roadmap. I love that term. You said a roadmap, having concepts and knowledge that we can apply to our lives. So I want to see if there's anything else that either one of you want to share. I want to give you the
Well,
floor again.
I will say to answer the question, as far as if someone maybe is skeptic about what we do, I can ask you just one question, like, are you tired? And not, well, you could be physically tired because you're working overtime for an employer that you're tired of working for. Are you tired? I know. That was my mindset. I was tired of, I am tired of working for an employer, and I'm not happy. I'm not making enough money. I'm giving a lot of time, and I know I'm not being appreciated. And that's the way of the world. I'm not making any complaints about it, but I also know that right now I am currently a part of that 94%. But in a minute could be a long time. I'm going to be a part of the 6%, which is going to expand to 7 and 8. Don't be ashamed, because a lot of us currently are in that 94%. If you were not educated as a youth, it's okay, because you have the knowledge now. Educate yourself. You go to school to learn, but we realize that it's just not in school that you learn and you get knowledge. It's through life experiences. And we have the opportunity to show you, hey, you do not have to make the same mistakes that your mom or your dad or your sister or your brother made financially. We can show you those things. Or if you did make those mistakes, we can show you how to reverse and how to get out of it. And then once you're educated, you can share that knowledge also, because it's so invaluable. It's completely invaluable. And Jasmine is coming to you as a client first. She would not be able to give you any type of information if she didn't give us the opportunity to show her what it is that we do, how we can educate her. And she says, has that moment like that weight is like lifted off her shoulders. Wow, I can save money. I will be able to pay back these loans and these debts and different things. Student loans. I know it's a touchy subject. That's why I wasn't gonna say student loans, but but and that's one thing.
Let them go.
And that's another thing. I really do enjoy what we do. Showing people just different, when you just show them things in black and white, show them where you're at and where you can be. That could be your goal, your lifelong dream, just to get out of debt, just to be able to save money. I've had this debate or discussion with Mr. Beckles, and I said, hey, I believe that every single individual in life has dreamed. He said, no, sis, I don't think so. I said, no. I said, everyone has dreamed of something in their life at some point. Maybe they have pushed it to the back burner. Maybe they decided to get rid of it because they felt as though, I don't know how I'm going to be able to obtain or achieve those goals and those dreams, but everyone has dreamed. And my level of dreaming may not be your level, but it's still a dream. What is it that you aspire to do, or that you aspire to have, or that peace of mind that you want to have? We have the opportunity to give you that, just to educate you. And we're just asking you to say, I was brought this opportunity, I took a chance, and it was worth it. And I know it. Jasmine did the same thing. Mr. Beckles did the same thing. And we're a testimony about what it can do for our lives and for our communities and for our families. So I just say, hey, like she said, reach out to her and just say, well, you know what? Don't be scared. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid. We are here to help. That's it. And we enjoy it, and we would love to meet new individuals and help you and help families and just give you more financial literacy. So that's all I have.
Wow. Mr. Beckles is going to close us out, and I'm locking it up. Yes.
Well, thank you. I agree with Miss B. She educated me on that. Everyone does dream. So I studied it. I wanted to study that, find out, get more clarification. She's right. When you're born, life is so simple when you're a child. When you fall down, children don't stop crawling. Children don't stop wanting to walk. Children dream. They have big dreams. Children don't not dream. Children don't stop dreaming. What stops them is their surroundings, society. That is what happened to all of us. None of us are where we thought we would be when we were children. That was taken from us. Our job, our goal is to provide you information to get you to that mindset again. Because this is what I've learned, and the Bible says is, the love of money is the root of evil, all evil. But the Bible also says to make friends of unrighteous mammon, which is money. Money can cure all the ails. And you know what? Money doesn't make you bad. Money will bring out finances, knowledge, more will bring out who you really are in your heart.
X.
It really exposes you for who you are. So if you're a good person, you want to understand and get finances, this is the place for you. If you're a bad person, you want to get and understand finances, this is the place for you. Your heart will dictate your future with the information.
Wow.
All we do is give information. We give you information and concepts that will grow you financially, mentally, and spiritually.
Wow.
What you do with that is on you. We're hoping that you pass it to as many people as you can, starting at your family and friends first, so we can bring that number of the 94 of uneducated, unfinancially placed people. We want to change that number. We need to get that number 50-50.
Yes.
You know, because it's a shame that to be in that 6%, all you need to make is $100,000 a year. And of the millions and hundreds of millions of people in the United States, it's still 94% under that. Let that sink in. $100,000 to get in, and only 6% make it.
Wow.
So I'm gonna leave you with that. And
Wow.
Miss Bailey, thank you again for
You are
having me
welcome.
and my sister
Thank
on. I
you.
greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate both of you coming on. This has been such a blessing, and it's been fun too. It's been very educational as well. So I want you all to hear what Mr. Beckles and Miss B has said. They both have, we all are B's. Like we're the B cubed.
B3, right?
B3, yes. So Miss B, Miss Bailey, Mr. Beckles. So we're a team, and there's a bigger team. But what I want everyone to again be able to hear and walk away from this this session is that on July the 27th, it is a Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm going to have an opportunity for you to hear more. It's called a digital grand opening where you can come. So you already know me, you know my face. And even if it's after the 27th, if you're watching this video, because the video will be up, you know me and you know my face, still reach out to me and we'll still be giving out this information. Because again, until we get that 50-50 percentage, we are not anywhere close. So again, if you haven't liked this video, please share the video with someone. Again, you can invite yourself, invite somebody else, and keep inviting, because we want this to be something that changes our life. Because in the area of finances, we want to create, learn, and develop new and healthy skills so that we can break the generational curse, build a good generational foundation so that we can obtain and schedule and get to plan for generational wealth. So I'm thanking again Mr. Beckles, Mrs. B, Miss B for coming out. And until next time, I'm going to have another guest. I'm so excited. And we're going to be talking about showing up. So again, I want you to be the best version of yourself. And in this space where we're creating for healthy relationships to be learn, develop, practice, and thrive, you can do it. You just have to put your mind to it and stick and stay in spaces like this. So again, comment, like, subscribe, and if you're able to attend on Tuesday, I'll see you there. Thank you again, Mr. Beckles and Mrs. B. Miss B, I'll see you later.
Very
All right.
welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.